If you believe in good, you believe in evil. If you believe in evil, you believe in good. It has to be. They're opposites. And up till now, we've been conditioned to believe in heaven or hell. I put myself right in the middle. And heaven and hell, black and white. But this world, up until now, there have been many grays in this world, because this world called Earth, the sphere, the vibration we live on, is perfect in its imperfection. Everything is the way it's supposed to be. However, the world is changing. It is not the world we were born into. We were born into a vibration where spirits would incarnate to purge, to choose, to purge the evil, to purge the negative emotions, to purge our negative tendencies, and by choice, progress and elevate ourselves. But all that is changing. In fact, it seems, if you read the newspapers, if you surf the internet, if you watch TV, that evil has the upper hand. It's not the case. They may seem a bit more organized right now, but New Age writer Patricia Pereira sums it up better than I could ever do. She said, the evil and dense vibrations are coming to the surface. It's all a part of the cleansing process. It's all a part of the transition. It's all a part of the ascension, because the time has come for us to choose. Now more than ever. Because the evil, the dense, the hate, the anger, the prejudice, and the intolerance, right there for us to see. It's right there for us to see the consequences. So, no more time for excuses. No more time to pass the buck. Oh, put it off. No. The time has come, because we are in an age of transition. Hannah Arendt, she was a writer, philosopher, and she wrote extensively about the Holocaust. She's a very controversial writer. She went and she covered for the New York Magazine, the Eichmann trial. Adolf Eichmann, I would say the mastermind, but he was the logistical expert. He made sure the trains ran on time. He made sure there was enough Zyklon B gas. He was the logistical superintendent of the Holocaust. And Hannah Arendt was very unimpressed by him. What a mediocre man. And she termed the coin the banality of evil. And she said, people who practice evil do not think. They simply do. That started me thinking. And like I always try to do in these programs, let's look at that, not through material eyes, not through the eyes of a psychologist or a social worker or a psychiatrist or social pundits. Let's look at what she said through spiritual eyes. People who do evil don't think, they act. It's because the evil vibrations are denser and they are easier to see, and they attract that part of us that we like to keep hidden in the dark, but still a part of us. It attracts us. They are the obvious vibrations. They are easier. They seem the most logical. They seem, because they react. They don't proact. They react to things. They feed off of our insecurities. The vibrations of good are lighter, more nuanced. They're more subtle, and sometimes we simply cannot understand them. That's why people who do evil don't think. They act. But in this time of transformation, in this time of transition, it's time to act and it's time to think, because most of us, the great majority, I'm not talking about the extremes, because There are the extremes over here who are messengers, who are the messengers of the new era, and they're here to help us, show us the way, to prepare the way. And then there's the other part down here that, no matter what you do, no matter what you do, they will always, for the time being, at their stage of development, be attracted to those denser, evil, darker vibrations without thinking, without reflection. It's instinct. I'm talking about the great majority of us. Because the great majority of us believe, I believe, we know right from wrong. And we don't need the old gray areas anymore. And those gray areas are disappearing. Because, as I said, this was a planet where spirits would come to incarnate, to learn specific lessons, to learn how to be more, like the way we were created, how to live in harmony. Well, that stage of this earth is ending. Spirits who come here will no longer need to purge these vibrations from themselves, will no longer need to purge the negativity. They've already done it. They'll be here, spirits who are incarnating, who will incarnate in the future, who are already coming here, will come to this planet to regenerate, to put it all together and to move on. Like, take a breather. I've been through all this. Now how do I put this together? So the gray areas will disappear. The gray areas are disappearing because, as Patricia Pereira said, the negativity, the density, the ugliness is all being brought to the surface for us to choose. The choices these days are obvious. The internet, one of the big changes in my lifetime, is here just because of that. The internet is not here to you to make friends with each other or to tweet about, oh, what is Paris Hilton doing today, or Kim Kardashian, or what's the latest rumors on the New York Yankees, what is the latest scandal. No, it's here for more than that. It's to create empathy between you and me. I speak to people on Facebook who live in Africa, who live in Japan, who live in Des Moines, Iowa, places I've never been to in my life. But I speak to them. I talk to them. They talk to me. We communicate. Empathy. Bonding. I'm beginning to see more and more every day what I've always known. People are people. We have this great commonality to us. And yet, we love to separate ourselves over our differences. And that is one of the lessons of what we're doing here today in this time of transition. You know what is right. You know what is wrong. I know what is right. We see the results of hatred. We see the results of prejudice. We see the results of intolerance. And we know it's wrong. Instead of reacting to events, the negative, the dark vibrations, the dense vibrations, it's time for us to choose and act. Either you become a part of the transition or you don't. It really doesn't matter, because what is happening is not, through our will. It's through the divine will. It's through the universe. Progress, 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 progression. And you have a choice to be a part of it or not. I'd like to talk to you about Spiritual Light Books, because at Spiritual Light Books, our goal is to make all this relevant to your daily life. We have books about change. One of them is called Changes. Another one is called The Return. Another one is called The Medium. Another one is called Coming Out of the Dark. It's all about changes, all about karma, all about how past lives influence this life. We have a book, Crossing Over to the Other Side. Just about that, what it's like, what we're all going to go through when we cross over to the other side. We have another book, A Different Kind of Love, which tries to explain not the physical, not the emotional, not the psychological, but some of the spiritual reasons behind homosexual love. Animals. You interested in animals? What happens to them after they die? We have another book, all animals go to heaven. About incarnation, life after death, how animals learn, how elements grow, and how deep down inside they have the same spirit we do, just at a different level of development. So check out all these books, because in a time of transition where good and evil, they're not only clashing here on this earth, clashing on the other side too. In a time of transition, the choices have never been clearer.